Let's get started anyway. So the first one we're going to start now, Bismillah, we're going to start off with is Al-Wara'. Al-Wara'. Yeah? Bismillah. So what I want you guys to do is, I want you to discuss for the next minute or so, discuss what do you know about this topic. What is Al-Wara'? Is it another word? Is it another name for Zuhd? Like, what is Al-Wara'? Is that okay? And other than Google translating it or just asking ChatGPT, give it some thought with what you currently have. Yeah? Without doing a little research. Is that okay? خلاص. We'll see you in a minute, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. بسم الله يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك استغيث اصلحني شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. So Al-Wara', brothers and sisters, this is what Al-Wara' is. Al-Wara' really is what? ترك ما يضر في الآخرة. Like basically leaving that which, may potentially harm a person in the next life. That's really what that is Al-Wara'. Make sense? ما قد يضر, like not just ترك ما يضر, ترك ما قد يضر, like it potentially will harm a person. It's not guaranteed. You get the gist of it? And there's wara' is of two types, as you're going to learn as well. There's wara' which is wajib and wara' which is mustahab. Like wara' which is an obligation that everyone has to actually have, and wara' which is recommended, as you'll see inshallah ta'ala. Yeah? It's different to a zuhd. Let me just comment on that quickly first. It's different to a zuhd. You know, the zuhd is the famous word that's used. Zuhd is quite heavily misunderstood, to be honest with you. Yeah? Zuhd is a higher level than wara'. Like wara' is at the beginning, it's like the initial stages of zuhd. Zuhd is a high level. What is zuhd then? Zuhd is leaving anything that won't benefit your next life. Make sense? ترك فيما لا ينفع في الآخرة. That's really what it is. It's like leaving anything that's not going to help your next life. So that's a higher level now. One of them is may harm, it's going to harm, or it potentially may harm. And the other one is anything that's not going to is this going to benefit? No, خلاص, that's zuhd. Make sense? We'll get the gist of it inshallah ta'ala. Okay. Now why is wara' so important then? Yeah? Like what makes it important? So first of all, it's from the best ways to get close to Allah. Like the Prophet ﷺ, he says, وَخَيْرُ دِينِكُمْ الْوَرَعَ. Like the best, way to get close to Allah and the best part of the deen, make sense? Is al-wara'. Make sense? What else? Tawfiq to do good deeds. Mean to do righteous actions. Like a person is, what's tawfiq? Tawfiq means that Allah is on your side. Like He's watching over you. He's aiding you. Make sense? When Allah is not with you, what's that called? Al-khidlan. Like it's like He's left you to your own device. You take, khalas, you don't need Him, khalas, He's left you to your own devices. Make sense? So, tawfiq to do good deeds as well when a person has al-wara'. Make sense? Al-Hasan al-Basri, he used to say, he says, أفضل العلم, like the best types of knowledge, as in sacred knowledge, is al-wara' wa-tafakkur. Is al-wara' and al-tafakkur. Wara' is, we're going to cover this right now. Al-tafakkur we're going to cover as another action of the heart soon. It's also like a very powerful action. Make sense? Okay, it purifies a person's heart from impurities. Because anytime you're doing something, anytime your heart's feeling a particular way, you think this is going to harm my akhirah. It's very likely it's going to harm. It may potentially harm my akhirah. Khalas, now a person wants to purify themselves from it. Right? Naturally speaking, they want to purify themselves from it. Is that okay? Yeah? What else? Only a bit of good Only a bit, meaning only a bit of good deeds. That's what we mean by good. Like only a few good deeds is needed if you got wara. Make sense? Like you find some of the people of the past, they'll say, oh, this person, mashallah, fasts X amount of days, does night prayer. They say, how is the wara though? Then we'll talk about all of that. You guys with us? Why are they saying that? Because if the wara is not really on point, it's like even the quality of the actions are not really on point. They're not really on point. They're there, but they're not on point. Is that clear, inshallah ta'ala? Like that's why you find, for example, Abu Huraira, was mentioned, the Prophet ﷺ said to Abu Huraira, he says, Ya Aba Huraira, kun wari'an, takun a'badun nas. Takun a'badun nas. That he says, be wara', meaning have wara', beautify yourself with wara', and you'll be from the most devout worshippers. Make sense? We get it, Minister? Yeah? Okay. What else? Accountability will be very easy in the next life. Because you already done the accountability during your time in this life. Like you've already done the hard work. So next life, now things are quite smooth. So you got two choices, right? Either you do accountability right now. So in the next life, there's easy account. Like the accounts are easy. Or you don't do accounts right now. In the next life, there's difficult accountability. Make sense, inshallah ta'ala? Yeah? Okay, cool. And what else? Elevation in rank. Because as we said, what happens now is there's a lot of quality in their good deeds. And there's not really many bad deeds. The bad deeds are pretty much disappearing. They'll be gifted with massive openings in halal. Whether it's finances, whether it's... You guys with us? Like, across the board. Because you know about the Prophet ﷺ, for example, the statements and even the people of the past, that man taraka shay'an lillah awadahu Allahu khayran min. The one who leaves something exclusively for Allah's sake, Allah gifts them with something better. You guys with us? Make sense? And over here it's full of that sort of stuff. Okay, what else is that? What else is connected as well? A person's honor is intact. Meaning now hardly anyone, it's very difficult for a person to sort of fault you. To say you got stains on you. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, he says in the narration of Bukhari, it says, إِنَّ الْحَلَالَ بَيِّنُ وَإِنَّ الْحَرَامَ بَيِّنُ وَبَيْنَهُمَا أُمُورٌ مُشْتَبِهَاتٌ لَا يَعْلَمُهُنَّ كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ فَمَنِ اتَّقَى الشُّبُهَاتِ فَقَدْ اسْتَبْرَأَ لِدِينِهِ وَعِرْضِهِ. Bukhari and Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ says that halal is clear cut, haram is clear cut. Between the two of them, there's many matters that are unclear. Is it halal, is it haram, what is it? A person who protects themselves from these doubtful matters, they protected their religion and their honor. Meaning no one's going to say, oh, this guy is just loose, this person's like this person. Make sense? It's true, right? That if you're avoiding all of the areas that are problematic, people leave you alone, right? Or no? Safana, or you disagree? Here's a question. Here's a simple question, bro. So let's say we've got a person of knowledge, yeah, person of knowledge, and you see them as you're leaving their thing, and this is like maybe a person that you know, and as you leave the center right now, he's got a yellow Lamborghini. So far? Whatever's like, let's say even something a bit more like on the modest side. What's an example of a modest Lamborghini? You know? Do they exist? Do they exist or not really? Yeah, they do. No, that's actually not true. I think they do exist. Yeah? What's an example of like a modest Lamborghini? Like what out of all of the ones that anyone know like about Lambos or not really? The Urus. No, come on, let's be a bit real. Yeah, the Urus. Do you guys know the Urus? We're talking about all the 2-seater ones. The Urus is like 5-seater. It's their sort of like, 4x4 SUV. Yeah, sort of. You guys with us? That's probably like the most maybe. But let's see if they're driving. Okay, so let's say they got one of those. Fair enough. They got 5 seaters. They got 3 children, for example. No problem. Yeah. But they're driving a yellow Lamborghini. And you know, obviously, you guys know as well, the newer Uruses as well, it depends on what you're sort of putting on. Yeah? So it has about 4 modes. We're so far? So you put one of them, yeah? So some of them make a lot of noise, and some are like stealth mode. You're just going like, obviously with those sort of colors though, you can't really be stealth. Yeah? Like yellow, orange, those sort of colors, they're attention grabbing sort of colors. They turn heads. Yeah. So my question is to you, for example, if a person's driving a car like that, let's say they're a person of knowledge. Yeah? Is that really like, do you think, is it likely someone's probably going to say something unpleasant? Or no? Or they're going to say, MashaAllah, okay, Allah barik la. You know, do you think they're going to, yeah, you're going to get some bros that, what's this guy doing, man? I want to do the same sort of stuff. Yeah? You're going to get some people like that, but I'm saying, is it likely that there's going to be a fair amount of people who are going to say bad stuff or not? Yes or no? What would you say? Like, think about yourself, honestly. Like, even if you're not going to say what you're going to say, what would you think? Do you think his honor, like, he's sort of like played with his honor a little bit or not? He sort of put it, you know, he's presented his honor to be trampled on a little bit. Yes or no? Okay, let me ask you guys a question, just so you get it. Is there a problem driving? Let's ask the question. Is if a person drives a Lamborghini, let's put you know, like all the difficulties in the Muslim world aside, and you know, no one wants to, like, we're not gonna comment on that sort of side right now. Meaning that's a requirement. A person needs to do whatever they can to help them. Make sense? And let's say they've given loads of money and all the rest of it. Like, that's a given. Make sense? Because we don't make it like they just care for themselves and let the rest of the world burn. Make sense? We're saying, let's say they're doing all of that stuff, alhamdulillah, and they've given lots. And as you guys know, euros costs $250,000, just for the record. Yeah? Costs 250 grand. So let's say they've already put $500,000 in Gaza, for example. Just so we can think positively. Is that going to, inshallah ta'ala? Yes, true, I don't want any distractions in the thinking. I'm saying, driving a Lamborghini, is it haram? Is that haram? No? Okay, so you guys don't think it's haram, yeah? Okay, khalas, that's good. Yeah? Okay, but what about driving, what about if it's a person of knowledge driving a Lamborghini? Is that problematic? Still alright? You still think it's alright? Yeah, inshallah? Okay. What about if it's one of those sort of colors? Like a yellow, and it might even be like, you know, because if you see some of them as well, like especially if you're aware of like this. So there's yellow, for example, and it's a very bright. Lamborghini generally always has outrageous colors. Make sense? For the most part, I'm saying. So it's got a yellow, for it's like a very screaming type of yellow, and it has one of those little, you know, little stripes or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Performante. It's like a sports version. So one of those, is that problematic or not really? It's still not problematic. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question now, yeah? Because now it's good. Now we're putting our spirituality to test. If a person's driving a car, one of those cars, Lamborghini itself as a car, it's a car, yeah? So it takes the ruling of a car. Make sense? Okay. But if you're driving a car that has those sort of colors, yeah? Like yellow, orange, like a bright orange, especially they always have bright, really bright colors, yeah? Is it like, let's take the person out of the equation now. Let's say a person's driving it. Is it not likely that the person's trying to show off? Like, do you really, there's all these other colors, but you chose this color in particular. I mean, you paid for it. No one else paid for it. You paid for it. Is it not likely, well, why did you choose, I mean, if you're choosing that color, clearly maybe you're trying to, well, you keep driving around one, you know, again and again. People, you know, I got a Lambo. Make sense? Like, is it not likely that maybe there's, here's a few questions. Number one, is it not likely that there's maybe some sort of ego problem? That maybe the person's got an ego? Or is that not possibility? Yeah? Here's another question. Is it not possible, you guys know what shuhra is, right? We spoke about in Sharaf. So shuhra is when you want to stand out. And there's no khair in like driving a Lambo that's yellow, you know, and to stand out like that, I'm saying. I'm just giving an example. Yeah? So is it not, is it like, you know, to sort of make stand out, for example, is that not also like a possibility that this person's trying to do that? I'm not here to comment on his intentions, by the way. I'm just saying, is it not a possibility? It's a big possibility or not? Yeah? We get it or we don't get it? Yeah? Showing off, as you guys know, showing off like a minor little thing is like, it's just doubtful. It's okay, like, it's okay if you show off. Is that okay? Is it okay to show off? Or is show off like, we're talking about major sins, sort of like entering into that world? Yeah, it's entering into that world, right? So from that angle, is it problematic? Is it problematic? Like, let's say they had, for example, I don't know, let's change the color now. Yeah? Let's say they had, I don't know, maybe like a black one. Not too, you know, they haven't played with things too much, so it still looks, it's quite subtle. Yeah? A Nardo grey. Are you guys with us? Is that, I'm giving an example. Is that subtle or not? Is it subtle? Is it subtle or not? It's pretty subtle, right? Or no? You don't think so? I think it's very subtle. I've actually seen, because I've seen these one by one. That's why I'm commenting first. I'm speaking first hand. Like, I'm actually speaking with, like, as a first hand observer. I've seen a Nardo grey, a Lamborghini Urus, for example, and I couldn't even tell it was Urus. I was just like, what is this car? It looks like a nice car. What car is it? Like, it's pure stealth mode. Like, you can't, only if you're a person who knows about cars would you know, oh, okay, this is actually a Urus. Straight away, obviously people who are nerds will always get it. Yeah? We're good so far? Like, meaning the car enthusiasts will know it. But everyone else won't know, though. A black one, you'll probably be able to tell a bit more. It's a bit more, like, it stands out a little bit more. Not great. I found it very stealth. Like, you can't tell. Like, you go past it, you can't actually tell. It's not one of the things that grabs your attention at all. Make sense? Yeah? But I'm saying, so if they had like that, is that a problem? Like, would you say that that's a problem? Is that necessarily a problem or not? That's subtle. That's like, all right. Especially if they're not putting the, you know, they're not putting it on the one where it's just all about revving and you see, like some of those sort of noises that they make, like some of it's just like, it's like, especially the new ones, they're all hybrid, so they're very quiet. It's like you're driving a Prius or something, you know? Like, it's like there's no noise. Make sense? And then you change it to one of those other ones. I can't remember. I don't actually remember them. I don't remember the names, to be fair. Yeah, but some of the other ones are like, you know, all of a sudden, and it makes so much noise that the whole neighborhood can tell there's actually a supercar, or there's someone's car's exhaust is broken down. One of the two. You guys see this? It's literally always one of someone's begging, basically. We get the gist of it? So I'm saying, we get the gist of it, or we don't? Are we understanding the point or not? The point that we're making, this is the summary. If you're doing something that's just normal, it's not a big deal, you can afford it, it's not like out of your budget, it's very normal, you can buy one tomorrow, if it crashes, it's okay, we'll buy another one. Like, you know, it's like, make sense? You're not buying beyond your means. Like, it's just like a normal person will buy a £2,000 car, £2,500, this person buys a £250,000 car. You know what I'm saying? It's true. To many of us, we might find it a bit much, but that's based on the current situation that we're in. Maybe when our situation changes, we'll be like, oh yeah, fair enough, it's like reasonable. Make sense? It's very relative, it's very subjective based on your current situation. Once upon a time, a person will see £1,000, oh my God, £1,000 is so much money. And then next time they're like, £1,000, oh okay, like, get the gist of it? Anyway, does that make sense? Does it make sense, inshallah ta'ala? Does that make sense or not? Yeah? So what's the point that we're making? Is that problematic or not? A person driving something like that, is that problematic? Is that called Wara? Do you think that's Wara? Or no? We get it, sisters? Yeah? Which that's a simple example. You don't necessarily have to enter into that example right now. But you will definitely enter into all of the examples as we start covering them one by one. That was just a random one that came in my mind, so I thought I'd just share it with you guys. Because I thought it was an interesting one. Yeah? But anyway. So we gifted in openings in halal. Go on. No, I'm not saying Wara will be driving a grey Nardo grey Lamborghini Urus, for example. Yeah? Here's another point. Driving one of those two-seaters, you know, the standard two-seaters, yeah? You know, which is most of the sports cars are like. Is that likely, like, most of those cars I'm saying where it's just two people, are most of those cars generally just showing off or not? For the most part. See, this is how we draw the line. If it's a car that a person needs, yeah. So let's say, for example, there's only him and his wife, for example, and that's one thing. But let's say he's got him and his wife, and he's got multiple kids, and now he's driving a 2-seater. Like, makes sense? And now we get the gist of it. Like, it's not making sense anymore. Unless the guy's got loads of dough and he's, mashallah, he's just got multiple, he's got a fleet, for example, yeah? And he actually drives it for a particular reason. He's got a reason, maybe, I don't know, he buys one for his brother and sister and, I don't know, his wife and maybe, I don't know, those things are different. You get the gist of it? Does that make sense? The point is, we're saying that if you're just getting that and it's purely just to show off, and as we said, the colors normally give it away for the most part, yeah? And the revving and stuff like that, then that's the stuff you need to pay attention to. Let's say a person's driving even a Rolls Royce. And Rolls Royce, as you guys know, I don't know if you guys know, but they cost a lot more than a lot of Lamborghinis. Yeah? Like, for example, if you compare the Urus is cost $250,000. If you buy, I don't know, a Cullinan, we're talking about more like 400. That is more in the 400 range, 450. We so far? Yeah. And it's a 4-seater. Make sense? If you had one which was all very like subtle colors, etc., I mean, fair enough. As in, I'm not, and it's like pocket change for the person. Fair enough. We get the gist of it, or we don't get the gist of it? We get the gist of it, or not? Yeah. And they needed it. Like, it's just them, and it's just 2 children. Mashallah. Okay, fair enough. And he drives it, and he's got a subtle color. Doesn't have, because even with the colors, you got very vibrant colors there as well. Like very like bright oranges and. Make sense? You just have a simple white, simple black. Do we get the gist of it or we don't? Anyway, khalas. A person knows that. Did I answer the sister's question? The sister, did you? Yeah? Okay, fair enough. Okay, a person knows they're on the right track. That's the key point. See, imagine, for example, let's say like a person's asking, oh, is this alright? Is this not alright? And we got one bro and one sister just says, look, I can afford it. I like this sort of stuff. I just opted out. For sure, this person, who's sure that they're always on the right track, if you got this sort of mindset, make sense? Because they're like, I don't know if this is actually like Wara or not, so I'm just going to opt out. Make sense? You see the point? And why is this so important? Because now when this person makes dua, it's always accepted. You got no issues with the du'as. This person's du'as is always fast-tracked. Make sense? Are you guys with us, inshallah ta'ala?